Hare Krishna, everybody. Good morning and welcome to today's discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going to be reading from the fourth canto, seventh chapter, verse number 36. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let me share my screen here. Okay, so reading again from Srimad Bhagavatam 4.7.36. Yajmani Uvacha Swagatam te prasidesha tubhyam namaha Srinivasa Shriyakantaya Trahinaha Tvamrite Disha Nanger Makaha Shobhate Shirshahinaka Bando Yatha Purushaha. Once again. Yajmani Uvacha Swagatam te prasidesh tubhyam namaha Srinivasa Shriya Kantaya Trahinaha Tvamrite Disha Nangair Makaha Shobhate Shirshahinaha Kabando Yatha Purushaha. Synonyms. Yajmani, the wife of Daksha, Uvacha, prayed, Su Agatam, auspicious appearance. Te, your. Prasida, become pleased. Isha, my dear Lord. Tubhyam, unto you. Namaha, respectful obeisances. Srinivasa, O abode of the goddess of fortune. Shriya, with Lakshmi. Kantaya, your wife. Trahi, protect. Naha, us. Tvam, you. Rite, without. Adisha, O supreme controller. Na, not. Angaihi, with bodily limbs. Makaha, the sacrificial arena. Shobhate, is beautiful. Shirshahinaha, without the head. Bandaha, Bandaha, possessed of only a body. Yatha, as. Purushaha, a person. Translation. The wife of Daksha prayed as follows. My dear Lord, it is very fortunate that you have appeared in this arena of sacrifice. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, and I request that you be pleased on this occasion. The sacrificial arena is not beautiful without you, just as a body is not beautiful without the head. Purport by His Divine Grace, Prabhupada. Another name of Lord Vishnu is Yagneshwara. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that all activities should be performed as Vishnu Yajna for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu. Unless we please him, whatever we do is the cause of our bondage in the material world. This is confirmed herein by the wife of Daksha. Without your presence, the grandeur of this sacrificial ceremony is useless, just as a body without the head, however decorated it may be, is useless. The comparison is equally applicable to the social body. Material civilization is very proud of being advanced, but it is actually the useless trunk of a body without a head. Without Krishna consciousness, without an understanding of Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, any advancement in a civilization, no matter how sophisticated, is of no value. There is a statement in the Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya: Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japastapaha Aparanaish Aparanayasyaiva Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. The purport is that sometimes when a friend or relative dies, especially among lower class men, the dead body is decorated. Dressed and ornamented, the body is taken in procession. That sort of decoration of the dead body has no actual value because the life force is already gone. Similarly, without Krishna consciousness, any aristocracy, any social prestige, or any advancement of material civilization is as good as the decoration of a dead body. The name of the wife of Daksha was Prasuti, and she was a daughter of Swayambhuva Manu. Her sister Dehavuti was married to Kardama Muni, and Kapiladev, the personality of Godhead, became her son. Prasuti then was the aunt of Lord Vishnu. She was asking the favor of Lord Vishnu in an affectionate mode. Since she was his aunt, she sought some special favor. Also significant in this verse is that the Lord is praised with the goddess of fortune. Wherever Lord Vishnu is worshipped, naturally there is the favor of the goddess of fortune. Lord Vishnu is addressed as Amrita, transcendental. The demigods, including Brahma and Lord Shiva, were produced after the creation, but Lord Vishnu existed before the creation. He is therefore addressed as Amrita. Lord Vishnu is worshipped with his internal energy by the Vaishnavas. Prasuti, the wife of Daksha, implored the Lord to turn the priests into Vaishnavas instead of simply fruity workers performing sacrifices for some material benefits. Beautiful verse today. ॐ ज्ञानतिम्रान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुधापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So I'd like to welcome once again everybody on today's discussion on the topic of on the fourth canto. This is verse number chapter number 7, verse number 36. And we are continuing our reading here from the chapter where we see that after Lord Shiva restores the situation and plants the head of a goat on Daksha's body. Then we have uh, Prajapati Daksha, who is uh, very remorseful, glorifies Lord Shiva, and and then essentially after that, all the oblations to the sacrifices happens, and then finally, after the final oblations are offered to the sacrifice, we have Lord Vishnu, that is, um, and as the Lord has appeared, we have various personalities starting from Lord Brahma, who is glorifying Lord Vishnu. And so now here we have the wife of Prajapati Daksha, who is now glorifying the form of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So this is again beautiful verse, and I thought there are actually at least three to four nice uh, topics or concepts here to churn. So let's start with the first one here. The wife of Daksha says, "Without your presence, the grandeur of the sacrificial ceremony is useless, just as a body without the head, however decorated it may be, is useless." And Srila Prabhupada um, shifts, says that yes, this is true of the body, but this is also true of the society, of the greater body of our existence. And then um, Srila Prabhupada talks about how without the head or without a proper understanding of our of the Supreme Lord and our relationship with the Supreme Lord, this advancement of civilization, no matter how sophisticated it is of not much value. So, um, I thought that in spite of all the happenings at the sacrificial arena, understanding that the whole place had been desecrated, um, and a lot of uh, verbal abuse as well as physical. When we say the word bloody mess, this is really what the situation was. And finally, the community or the sangha of the sadhus that had arrived at that particular place completed what their goal was, in spite of all the tumultuousness. And then uh, the fact that they did the sacrifice, and after the sacrifice was done, the Lord, Supreme Lord, made his appearance. That means the sacrifice was successful, in spite of a lot of um, tumultuous happenings leading up to the sacrifice and just before the sacrifice. So, uh, as they say, all's well that ends well. Almost seems like that is the case here. And here the Prasuti, the wife of um, Prajapati Daksha, uh, talks about how, just by the mere presence of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, irrespective of what the how bad the circumstances or how good the circumstances, it automatically gets elevated and purified. Uh, so we it is very fortunate that you have appeared in this arena of sacrifice. The sacrificial arena is not beautiful without you, just as a body is not beautiful without the head. So this goes back to the um, the teachings that Srila Prabhupada has hammered in through the Bhagavad Gita again and again and again, is without putting Krishna in the picture or in the center, irrespective of how elaborate our plans are and how beautiful our plants are. Um, that is as good as decorating a dead body, or it is um, it is not auspicious. And but at the same time, irrespective of how challenging the circumstances and how bad the situation is, putting Krishna in the center automatically um, makes the situation better. And so, again, we've seen through this particular episode that the circumstances were challenging. They focused on the intent, which is to please the Yagneshwara, which is Lord Vishnu. And then automatically that brings about the uh, uh, sanctity. It improves the sanctity and it brings about auspiciousness. So here, Srila Prabhupada is quoting a statement from Hari Bhakta Shuddhodaya. And Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya is, my understanding is that it is part of the Narada Purana. And again, a lot of references are made to the Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya by Goswamis or Acharyas. And here it's a very, um, let's say, graphic description of how we don't really actually we see it even in the US, but those of us who grown up in India, we've seen bodies being carried around with decoration of flowers, and actually we see even in this country too. At least really famous politicians and personalities, the body gets decorated even more elaborately. And here the Hari Bhakti Shuddhodaya talks about how the sort of decoration of the dead body has actually there is no value to it, because the substance that brings value to the body is the spirit soul or the consciousness. And when the spirit soul has left, then the body then is just merges into the dust and earth. And so similarly, the comparison is made to any kind of advancement that we may have in the material world. If that is not uh, in relationship to Krishna, then it is as good as decoration of a dead body. So uh, here again, it is there's a reference that is made to the lower class of men. So again, there is this uh, the varnashrama, where you have the different classes of men. One is a brahmana, who is the head of the society. Then we have the kshatriyas, that are the administrative class. Then we have vaishyas, who are the mercantile class, and we have the shudras, the labor class. And each of these different classes have their own function. It is not that one is inferior than the other. The entire, all these four classes needs to work uh, in, needs to work together in order for the society to operate. And even though there is equality, having said that, the function of the head or the head of the society is to provide direction. Uh, and so the Brahminical class is supposed to not just provide direction, but they are supposed to themselves strive for purity, and with that purity, essentially provide the direction. So, direction that is provided without purity uh, actually will be looked at as double standard and will not really influence people's heart. And then there are the other aspects of the varnashrama, the varnas, which is the administrative, again, to protect the body or to protect the society. And then we have the mercantile class, which is uh, again to ensure that there is abundant goods and services in a way that the society can, you know, be comfortable and be comfortably situated in their devotional services. And then the labor class that essentially helps get the work done or the job done. So that's the arrangement that we have. Uh, and in this, as Srila Prabhupada is saying that the purport is that sometimes when a friend or relative dies, especially among lower class of men, the dead body is decorated. So again, there are practices that evolve because again, the tendency to take independent action and the tendency to act whimsically is actually very strong. And yes, when there are activities that are conducted without, uh, proper guidance from the brahmanas, without proper guidance from the sadhus or the shastras, then we end up creating different flavors of practices, and which may not necessarily satisfy uh, the broader society, which may not satisfy our own selves, and which won't actually elevate us. So, which is why here Srila Prabhupada is talking about lower class of men, more so from not from the category of Shudras, but the fact that some people don't have the, or rather, some people have the tendency to not follow instructions or not follow the head of the society. Now, the second part here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about the relationship of Prasuti with, Lord Vishnu, and he talks about how Prasuti is the daughter of Swayambhu Manu and is a sister of Devahuti, who was married to Kardama Muni, and born out of Kardama Muni was um, Kapil Dev, the personality of Godhead. And we, went through some elaborate teachings of Kapil Dev in the third canto. And so, as someone that is related, uh, apparently related in a bloodline, here we see that uh, Prasuti uh, is looking forward to some additional favor, special favor from Lord Vishnu. Srila Prabhupada then talks about again re-establishing the position of Lord Vishnu as, this is a personality that always existed. This is it compares the position of Lord Vishnu to the position of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. We know that we understand that Lord Brahma was born of the navel, from a lotus, and then Lord Shiva was again produced after the creation. And so Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing the fact that here Lord Vishnu has existed, even before the creation, has always been existing, and which is why he is called as Amrita. Now, the the last sentence here, Srila Prabhupada talks about the wife of Daksha, who is imploring the Lord to turn the priests into Vaishnavas instead of simply fruitive workers performing sacrifices. And understand that this was actually a curse that was handed down by Nandi to Bhrigu and the other um, sages who were assembled there, who didn't actually speak up when Lord Shiva was insulted, saying that you will be these materialistic brahmanas who would perform these kinds of sacrifices for material motivations, for money or for fame or whatever be that. Uh, and I was thinking about actually, fairly recently I was in Houston for some DT worship seminar, and I was reminded of as there was a lot of question answer sessions. One of them was the purpose of pujari on the altar. Sometimes we do notice that uh, some pujaris are much more elaborate in a way that actually distracts the attention from the lordships to their very elaborate maneuvers of various articles of arti. And Narasimha Kavach Prabhu was talking about how the intent or the mood of a person who is entering the altar should be that of a servant who is entering the quarters of their master, not necessarily attracting attention, just getting in, doing the job, and getting out. And even as a pujari, as a brahmana who is up on the altar, the uh, the intent is, of course, you're serving the Supreme Lord and not to attract attention to one's own self. And in that sense, being a little bit inconspicuous or in a way that doesn't steal the attention from the Supreme Lord. I mean, we want to make our worship very elaborate. We want to make our worship, uh, you know, um, very mindfully and very elegantly. But at the same time, we also have to ensure that there is no us in the center. It's the Supreme Lord that is in the center, but we are there as a servant to do a job very gracefully, very elegantly, and then we get out. When the job is done. So, I was just reminded of that as I was reading this last last sentence. So um, again, I'll just read the translation once again. The wife of Daksha prayed as follows: My dear Lord, it is very fortunate that you have appeared in this arena of sacrifice. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, and I request that you be pleased on this occasion. The sacrificial arena is not beautiful without you, just as a body is not beautiful without the head. So, again, the punchline here is that irrespective of how good or terrible the situation is, just by consciously putting the Supreme Lord and the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord in the center, it automatically invites auspiciousness. And the situation becomes much more beautiful, irrespective of what the external physical appearance may look like. And so with that, I will end and see if there are any thoughts and comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the Master Prabhupada. I just like to make one observation, Prabhu. This time, Lord Vishnu appears in the beginning of the sacrifice itself. As soon as the Purodasha offering was made by
Ah,
Daksha. Huh? So
right.
it is like in the beginning, because in text 48, much later, Sri Maitreya said, after Lord Vishnu was glorified by all present, Daksha, his consciousness purified, arranged to begin again the yajna which had been devastated by the followers of Lord Shiva. So Lord appears in the beginning itself, and so
Thank you, Madhavi, for the
mm,
correction.
thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. It was very nice class. Yes, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I missed part of the class in, in the Pujari room, but your comment about making the Pujari being as much inconspicuous as possible. That's really helpful and making me self introspective. Um, but yeah, that is the intent. And actually, I think I've heard about that also and various other things in some other talk by Pankajangri Prabhu and Jananivas Prabhu as well about how to approach the deity and various things, various subtle things that make such a difference. So thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, thank you for emphasizing that. And I was, I picked up that example because that was much more fresh in my mind. But in general, again, the principle remains the same. We may engage in pujari service, we may engage in, whatever service, book distribution, could be outreach or bhakti vriksha or whatever be that. And through the medium of all of these different services, our goal is, service of, the souls that are coming our way, that Krishna is kindly sending our way, and our service to Guru and Krishna. This is, you know, souls that you are sending. These are capabilities that you have endowed me with, and this is a service for my own purification. And so, I have my only contribution to this is my desire to serve. That is really what my only contribution to this whole equation is. And in that sense, um, not getting in the way of the true receiver of glorification, who's the Supreme Lord, Guru and Krishna. And that tendency is very challenging to overcome, because we have this body, means that we covet that position of Krishna, and we are looking to be the centers of uh, you know the world around us. And so it is that is the truth. That basic instinct to be at the center, to be glorified, is very, very, very strong. And that is why we need these kinds of reminders from time to time to time. And the Shastras is replete with, Srimad Bhagavatam is full of uh, these messaging around understanding, who the true uh, benefactor of our services are, irrespective of what kind of service we may be engaged in. And only when the Supreme Lord is truly considered as a benefactor, and we, offer the fruits of our services, can there be auspiciousness? Auspiciousness in our own hearts, satisfaction in our own hearts, and benefit to the people that, or the situation that we are serving in. That is the only situation when all parties benefit. Otherwise, there is always going to be issues and problems, and that's basically a reflection of how pure is our heart, Pure as in, how, uh, how conscious we are about Krishna in, in whatever circumstance that we are operating in. So, yeah, thank you so much for bringing up the reminding about the pujari. But essentially, this principle remains the same whether it's a pujari on the altar or it's somebody that is cleaning the floor in a temple.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you. And also, so many questions that we have are actually answered by this one thing, Krishna in the center, in our hearts, in every action, mostly in our hearts, actually, but, keeping Krishna in the center. That answers so many doubts and questions that we have. So, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. I mean, it's so nice to have all of your association to keep reminding each other and reminding us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? All right. Well, thank you so much. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Until
Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.